I used to fall asleep on the carpet before my parents carried me to bed. Still wearing school clothes sometimes, with pencil marks across my hands. The apartment upstairs flushed pipes loudly every night around 11, and cartoons played through the wall beside mine, slightly delayed from our TV. My mother folded laundry slowly, watching game shows without laughing. Steam fogged up the kitchen window above the rice cooker light. Curtains through the apartment wall, blue light flickering in the hallway. Somebody's father coughing nearby, elevator cable shaking softly. Back then, the whole building felt awake, even after midnight, like hundreds of tiny unfinished lives stacked quietly together. There was a crack above the doorway that looked like a river on maps. I traced it while pretending not to hear my parents arguing. Later they stopped arguing altogether, which somehow felt much stranger. Only the television speaking now to nobody in particular. Years passed without announcing themselves. The video store became a bakery, and somebody painted over the mural near the bicycle parking lot. Cartoons through the apartment wall, rainwater dripping from air conditioners. The old woman downstairs feeding cats using leftover fish from dinner. I still remember the hallway smell during summer power outages. Everybody opening their front doors, trying to let cooler air inside. Last winter I visited home again. The building looked smaller somehow, but the elevator still paused too long between the 4th and 5th floor. A child somewhere was watching cartoons loud enough to hear from outside, and for a second I knew exactly what time it used to be. Cartoons through the apartment wall. Some memories never become important until years later in another city, when silence starts sounding expensive. Now sometimes I leave the television on while washing dishes after work, just to make the apartment feel slightly less finished for the night. Every morning before 6, I stop beside platform 2. The coffee machine near the staircase always made the same clicking sound. A man from the flower market waited there almost every day, holding newspapers under his arm, wrapped in thin plastic string. Outside, taxis move through puddles, leaving yellow reflections behind, and someone washed restaurant windows before customers arrive for breakfast. Coffee from the machine near platform 2, burning my hands through winter gloves. The station smelled like wet newspapers and perfume from department stores. The city stretched awake slowly beneath apartment laundry lines, like everybody was preparing for another version of the same day. At work they changed the desk layout without asking anyone first. My favorite clerk from accounting transferred somewhere near Yokohama. We promised lunch before she left, but schedules quietly erased it. Now sometimes when trains stop briefly, I wonder if she still rides them too. Back home my kitchen window rattled whenever freight trains passed at night. I used to hate the noise so much, now silence feels much heavier. Coffee from the machine near platform 2. Morning announcements through bad speakers. Teenagers sleeping on each other's shoulders after staying out too late again. The bakery inside the station placed fresh bread beside the register, and office workers lined up quietly without fully waking yet. Some mornings felt important, and though nothing special really happened, only small routines repeating until they became entire years. Coffee from the machine near platform 2. Sunlight finally touching the rails. A janitor sweeping cigarette ash toward the edge of the platform. And all those ordinary mornings I thought I would eventually forget still return without permission whenever trains arrive too early.
At 5 in the morning every weekday, the newspaper boy rode past our building. His bicycle chain clicked loudly against the silence of the street. My mother already awake downstairs, standing over miso soup steam. Radio weather forecast playing softly beside the sound of running water. The apartment hallway smelled like detergent and someone's cigarettes from last night. A businessman slept on the lobby couch, still wearing his office shoes. Newspaper delivery bicycle passing through the sleeping neighborhood. Front wheel spraying water from the curb under pale fluorescent streetlights. Back then I barely noticed mornings, I only wanted them to end faster. Now I remember tiny things nobody else would think about twice. Near the station crossing gates, workers lined up at the kiosk, buying black coffee in aluminum cans and baseball papers folded neatly. There was a secretary from our building who always wore red low heels, even during heavy rainstorms, even after working overtime. One winter she suddenly stopped coming. Nobody explained where she went, but her desk calendar stayed untouched until almost spring. Newspaper, delivery bicycle, turning corners before sunrise. Apartment televisions flickering blue behind thin curtains upstairs. The city looked softer back then, before office windows filled with people, before the train started breathing heat into crowded underground stations. Sometimes I think adulthood was mostly waiting in quiet places, platforms, hallways, elevators, watching clocks move toward work. Newspaper, delivery bicycle, disappearing down the side street. Morning clouds hanging above power lines like wrinkled gray fabric. And somewhere beyond those apartment blocks, people were waking up for another weekday, without realizing years later these would become the scenes they missed.
The cigarette machine outside City Hall buzzed louder after rainfall. Its yellow light reflected sideways across puddles near the curb. Cleaning crews emptied metal ashtrays before office workers arrived. Someone rolled up steel shutters slowly at the noodle shop beside the station. I used to walk this same route daily in low heels that hurt by noon, carrying reports inside my handbag along with receipts and train schedules. The cigarette machine outside City Hall, always glowing before sunrise, like it never really slept, even when the streets felt abandoned. Morning buses hissed at intersections, sending mist across the sidewalks, and everybody walked too quickly to look at each other directly. At work, we celebrated birthdays using plastic cups and cheap cake, then returned to typing quietly before the frosting even melted. One accountant kept photographs inside the top drawer of her desk. She stared at them during lunch breaks without smiling very much. I remember one December, the heating stopped on our entire floor, so everybody wore overcoats indoors and pretended not to mind. The cigarette machine outside City Hall, rainwater dripping from the awning. A man in construction clothes buying coffee before daylight. The station clock blinking incorrectly for almost 3 straight months. Nobody ever fixed it, people just adjusted themselves instead. Funny what survives in memory, not promotions or important meetings, only small things left glowing quietly at the edge of ordinary mornings. The cigarette machine outside City Hall, still standing there years later, though the noodle shop disappeared and the newspaper stand became a cafe. Now sometimes before work I walk slower than I need to, before dawn.
The station clock was 3 minutes fast, same as every winter morning. A woman in hotel uniform slept against the vending machines. Someone dropped coins near the ticket gate. Nobody looked up from the floor. The first train rolled in slowly, like it hadn't fully woken either. I bought canned coffee from the platform shop. The metal's still too hot to hold. Outside the tracks were covered in fog, and apartment windows flickered on one by one. First train at 5:18, carrying tired strangers downtown. Wet umbrellas beside polished shoes, and yesterday still stuck in our eyes. The city looked softer before sunrise, like office towers could forgive you before elevators and ringing phones turned everybody back into themselves. An older man in construction clothes read baseball scores without reacting. Across from him, a college student practiced interview answers under her breath. Near Shinagawa, the sky turned silver, factories humming near the water. For a second, the train windows looked almost warm from inside. I remembered my father shaving before daylight every weekday, radio playing quietly beside him, while the apartment stayed completely dark. First train at 5:18, plastic hand straps swinging gently, advertisements for tropical vacations above people too tired to travel. Somebody smelled like cigarette smoke, somebody smelled like laundry soap. Nobody said a single word until the city finally lit up. Back then I thought adulthood would arrive all at once somehow, but mostly it came through routines, repeated too many times to notice. First train at 5:18, crossing rivers under gray skies, convenience stores switching on their lights, one neighborhood at a time. And somewhere inside those office buildings, we all slowly disappeared into schedules, like names written in pencil inside company notebooks. "6:03 outside the station, street sweepers pushing water downhill. A woman unlocked the pharmacy gate, still wearing yesterday's makeup. The office lights were still off, except the cleaning staff upstairs. Vacuum sounds through empty hallways, echoing between glass walls. at the corner cafe near the crossing. They stacked chairs beside the window. Coffee steam clouded up the glass before the first customers arrived. The office lights were still off, and the city almost looked honest. No ringing phones, no fake conversations in elevators. Just tired workers carrying briefcases past delivery trucks and puddles, like actors arriving too early to a play they knew by heart. I used to stop at the record store before they turned it into a bank. The owner wore suspenders every day and smoked beside the entrance stairs. Now there's only polished marble and clocks showing different countries. Nobody stays outside long enough to remember what was there before. The train ride from the suburbs always smelled faintly of raincoats and somebody's cheap aftershave mixed with warm canned coffee. The office lights were still off. Blue morning reflected in the windows. Construction workers laughing loudly outside the convenience store. A secretary practiced English phrases, reading quietly from flashcards while buses hissed at empty stops under advertisements for vacations. Funny how certain mornings stay with you more than birthdays or celebrations. Just ordinary Wednesdays nobody thought to photograph. The office lights were still off when the first elevator finally opened, and one by one the quiet disappeared into schedules and fluorescent rooms. Somewhere behind all those windows, people slowly became older without noticing it happen, until trains started feeling familiar.
Rain collected near the curb beside the payphone outside the station. Someone left an umbrella there, turned inside out from the wind. The bakery workers smoked together before opening for the morning crowd. Their laughter disappeared into steam from subway vents beneath the sidewalk. I called my apartment once from there after missing the last train home, just listening to the ringing sound before hanging up alone. Rain on the payphone outside the station, yellow light against the dark street. The city smelled like wet newspapers and cigarettes after midnight. Everybody carried somewhere to be, inside briefcases and folded schedules, while morning trains crossed the river toward buildings already waking up. A bartender still wearing suspenders bought instant noodles at the convenience store. His sleeves rolled unevenly, like he'd stopped paying attention hours ago. The station speed office workers stood silently, watching water slide down advertisements. Back then I thought loneliness would feel more dramatic somehow, but mostly it looked like this: plastic umbrellas drying near heaters, rain on the payphone outside the station, taxi lights reflecting through puddles, the newspaper stand opening slowly with radio music from inside. Some girl in a university sweater slapped against the train window glass while her cassette player leaked sound too quietly to recognize the song. Years later they removed the payphones without anyone really mentioning it. 1 week they were still standing there, then suddenly only empty space remained. Rain on the payphone outside the station, morning shifting from blue to gray, workers disappearing underground with coffee warming their hands. And somewhere in another city, someone else is probably standing there now, half awake before another workday, listening to trains arrive through the rain.
12:37 behind the office building, 3 accountants eating noodles on the curb. Someone from marketing talking too loudly about a divorce nobody asked about. The air smelled like wet cardboard from boxes stacked beside the loading bay, and somebody kept kicking a bottle cap back and forth near the drainage grate. I bought egg sandwiches from Lawson and a coffee already getting warm. The cashier circled something on my receipt. I still don't know what it meant. Lunch break behind the office building, everybody staring at different things. Smoke drifting into the alleyway like the day was trying to disappear. A woman in a yellow cardigan laughing into her phone too hard, then suddenly going completely quiet when the elevator doors open. Around 2 o'clock the clouds cleared up, light reflecting off the windows strangely. For a minute the whole business district looked almost clean enough to live in. I remembered my first apartment, the tiny sink beside the bed, and hearing baseball games through the wall from the old man next door every night. Back then I thought temporary jobs would eventually become something else. Now I know some people stay 30 years in buildings that smell exactly like this. Lunch break behind the office building, delivery scooters crossing puddles, the vending machine humming softly beside a dead potted plant. Someone left a birthday cake untouched inside the 4th floor break room fridge. By 6 o'clock the whipped cream started sinking. Nobody mentioned it afterward. Sometimes after work I sit on the train without headphones, just listening to station announcements and people unwrapping convenience store dinners. The strange thing is I don't even hate this life. I just thought there'd be more conversations people remembered later. Lunch break behind the office building. The smokers already heading back inside. Plastic umbrellas drying near the entrance. Security guards changing shifts. And tomorrow the same sidewalks will fill with the same tired footsteps. Like the city keeps photocopying itself, one weekday at a time.
The vending machines, still brighter than the morning sky. A cyclist passes through the intersection, carrying bread tied to the back seat. My headphones smell like winter air. The left side cuts out if I move too fast. Some late night radio replay drifts through, static between familiar songs. Store cashier yawns while restocking canned coffee rows. Outside, delivery trucks breathe white smoke into streets nobody's using yet. On the walk to work before sunrise, the city feels unfinished. Traffic lights changing for empty roads. Office towers dark above me. Every window holds another life. Someone ironing clothes for school. Someone falling asleep too late. Someone staring at a ceiling fan. Near the station entrance stairs, a man in restaurant clothes smokes quietly, holding his phone without unlocking it, like he forgot who he meant to call. The bakery near the crossing light already smells warm from outside. Women in aprons laugh behind the counter while dragging chairs across the floor. I used to think mornings like this were temporary parts of adulthood. Now they repeat so often, they've become their own kind of home. On the walk to work before sunrise, the train tracks hum beneath the bridge. Street cleaners push puddles sideways as if the night can still be erased. A blue bus stops beside the curb, its driver rubbing tired eyes. And for a second through the window, everyone looks exactly the same age. When I was younger, I imagined older people understood something, but most mornings now we just carry bags and keep moving. I still remember hearing my parents making coffee before dawn, back when waking up early belonged to someone else's life. On the walk to work before sunrise, store shutters slowly open upward. The first train disappears underground, pulling light through the station walls. I pass the same apartment balconies, the same flickering crossing signs. And somewhere between exhaustion and routine, the sky finally changes color.